In February 2nd, 1959, in the Ural Mountains up by Kolatsyago, which translates to Mountain of the Dead, Igor Dyatlov and 8 other college students were on a ski trip. Now, this incident we're about to discuss is called the Dyatlov Pass. It was named after Igor himself. Now, their bodies weren't discovered until February 26. At least 5 of the 9 bodies weren't discovered. When the families realized that the 9 college students had gone missing, they informed the local constabulary police force up in the Ural Mountain area that they were at. When they got there, they found the campsite had been destroyed, clothes strewn about. The tents looked like they had been cut from the inside, and they found the first 5 bodies within the tree lines. They were still in the long underwear. They were barefoot. Most of them died from hypothermia and exposure. They were a couple feet from the campsite, a couple miles. 1 or 2 of them were a couple miles in. Now, the last 4 bodies, including Igor himself, weren't discovered until the spring thaw of May that same year in 1959. Now, they were found with chest fractures, skull fractures, and various fractures to their body. Now, according to the medical examiner at the time, their body looked like the injuries to their body were consistent with being hit by a car at high velocity. Getting a car up there in that section of the Ural Mountains was virtually impossible in 1959. Now, the case has remained open in Russia all these years, and there's been great speculation. There's been numerous reports of possible lights in the air, 3 of them, over the campsite before the students ran out into the wilderness to face their death. There's also been reports a Yeti, a Sasquatch, is possibly responsible. There's been the beliefs that the local mountain farmer people who live up there in that section were responsible. But that's why I'm glad you've come forward today, my dear Enders. It's only been a couple months now, and the year is, of course, 1959. But like I said, I'm glad you've finally decided to come forward, knowing that you have vital information of what happened up in the pass that evening. I know you were witnessing it because you were at a local campsite, right? That's what you told me. Now, you're going to tell the commissar when he gets here what you saw. Was it Bigfoot? Was it aliens? Was it military? Was it the local farmers? Was it this unknown, unseen force that hit these people hard enough as a speeding car, as the medical examiner theorized? You have to tell the commissar when he gets here. Now remember, my dear Enders, my dear comrades, you tell the commissar what you saw for the glory and the honor of Mother Russia. The commissar and I are listening.